to him. So they have some things to improve on, which they've done so far in terms of free agency to allow Cam Ward to have a fighting chance. I will say this. Will Levis, who I know Matt and Field did not like coming out of Kentucky, I had high hopes for. I still have hope that he will compete, and he will compete hard for that job. It will not be given to Cam Ward. He's going to have to earn it. This will be the second year for Will Levis in that offense. He played hurt with the AC joint injury last year. We'll see how it goes. But Cam Ward, yeah, you keep taking the shots at quarterback. We don't know what Will can be. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know he has talent, and certainly Cam Ward does as well. But this is going to be Cam Ward's team eventually, unless Will Levis shocks the world.
You know, I've heard some stories, some legendary stories about how Mel and his lovely wife Kim live on this huge island somewhere in Maryland. We don't know exactly where it is until now. It's called Will Levis Island. You're the only two people that still inhabit that place, Mel. Come on now. Cam Ward goes #1 overall. I don't care if they take 6 months or 6 minutes to name him the starter. He's the Titans' Week 1 starter. You could put that one down in Sharpe.
Matt, do you agree with that? Do you believe that Cam Ward starts day one over Will Levis?
Yeah, without a doubt. And Mel mentioned it. I had a mid-round 2 grade on Will Levis when he came out, by the way. So I was definitely not even vacationing on Will Levis Island. Didn't even get a postcard from Will Levis Island. Everybody told me I was so wrong about him coming out. Well, 2 years later, I'm going to take a victory lap on the Will Levis scouting report. There is no way in this world you draft Cam Ward #1 overall to say, oh, hey, by the way, you're competing for the job with Will Levis, the guy we don't like enough to build a team around with the #1 overall pick, or by trading out and getting extra draft assets. You're replacing him with this pick. Sorry, Will Levis. We're going to see you somewhere else in 2026. I'm sure of it. You'll have a chance to be competing for a job then. But this is Cam Ward's team when they draft him #1 overall.
Hey, Matt, don't put the running shorts on, the running shoes on yet. Don't get all that ready for taking that lap around the track yet, because the race hasn't started. No victory lap yet. A lot of quarterbacks need some time. And, of course, he was hurt. Remember, he had the shoulder injury, and it was the first year in Callahan's offense, who, by the way, would have won the Jacksonville game if he just kicked field goals. And then he got hit at the end of the first half. He got shot up at halftime. Then he had that bad game against Cincinnati when he was hurt. So, again, I understand you have to go with, and you will be more patient with, the quarterback that you handpicked, that's your guy. So now we got GM and head coach handpicking Cam Ward. I bet they never throw Cam Ward under the bus. I bet they have his back, and I bet they support him all they can. Will Levis didn't get all that last year because it wasn't their guy. Cam Ward will, and I'm in agreement with you guys. More than likely it will be Cam Ward, but I will say this. Will Levis will compete hard for that job. And like I say, you've been shocked a few times in your life. Maybe again. Who knows?
I'm going to say that I think Mel puts mayonnaise in his coffee. He likes Will Levis this much. He is that committed to this quarterback.
Don't go that far, Kev.
Okay.
It's on his pumpkin pie.
It's nice to know we have some limits surrounding the Will Levis conversation. All right, the buzz around the Browns has changed in the last week or two, Mel. What do they do at #2?
Well, wow factor. You need juice, right? You need excitement with the fan base. You need a guy who can put touchdowns, can light up that scoreboard, get touchdowns, basically be a fear factor offensive weapon, which is what a guy like Travis Hunter will be. And a cornerback who will help a defense that already has guys who can cover on the back end. He'll add to that. Deion said it perfectly. He can't be standing next to the defense on the sidelines with the head coach when your cornerbacks are getting toasted, right? He's got to be out on that field playing. He'll play both ways. I think more offense than defense at Cleveland, because that's exactly what they need. Travis Hunter's ability as a game-breaking, big-time wide receiver is what Cleveland needs most, and he can also be a heck of a cornerback as well. They'll figure it out, but Cleveland, like I say, gets the best player on my board since August to now has been Travis Hunter.
Do you agree with this? Because he has Abdul Carter sitting there as well,
Yeah.
1 and 2 on Mel's big board. Do you agree with the fit with Hunter in Cleveland?
I may not agree with Mel on the idea that Will Levis is going to compete for the Titans starting quarterback job, but I do agree with him on Travis Hunter being the best player in this year's class. You can play him at wide receiver, you can play him at cornerback. The bottom line is, Kevin, he's going to play both spots in the NFL. It's some amount of snaps per game. This guy has a chance to go down as one of the most unique talents the league has ever seen. Yeah, we can make the comparisons to Champ Bailey or Charles Woodson or Chris Gamble, guys who played on both sides of the ball during their college career. None of those guys were full-time corners and full-time wide receivers. We can sit here and quibble, is he a better corner or is he a better wide receiver in the NFL? The bottom line is this. The ceiling at either spot is Pro Bowl good for Travis Hunter. You don't allow a unicorn to slide past you at #2 for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it's a tough decision here. I think Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft. I would be fine with him as the selection here. Maybe turn that defensive line into a strength when you're in a division with Lamar Jackson. You're in there with Joe Burrow, and the Steelers win 10 games no matter what they do at quarterback, it seems like. So I can make an argument for Abdul Carter here. Again, best player in the draft. Now, there are some questions about injuries with Carter that are creeping up the closer we get to the draft. He had the stress reaction in the foot. He played with a shoulder injury. Those are the types of debates that could be a dividing line in a team's war room. So if you're the Cleveland Browns, one thing that I go back to all the time, this offense was the worst in the NFL last year. And if you tell me I can add Travis Hunter to go with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku, and hopefully Kirk Cousins comes at quarterback, or they make an addition at the quarterback position, they have to find a way to score some points. So I think you're splitting hairs between these two. Carter, Hunter, both are great players. I do think with the Browns secondary, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson, we're going to see him play wide receiver first. Maybe he plays 10 to 15 snaps a game at corner.
Well, Mel, the Browns, and Matt talked about it, they need a quarterback, and they pass on your number one quarterback in this draft, Shedeur Sanders. How do you see this team addressing the quarterback position in the draft?
I agree with Young Fielding on Tyler Shuck going that first pick in the round 2 to the Cleveland Browns. He can spin it. You talk about wind and weather in Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Think about what Tyler Shuck did this past year. His first season, he was able to complete a full season. Did it back in Oregon. It was only 7 games the COVID year. Texas Tech, 3 years of injury. This year, healthy with Brom there as the head coach. And you think about what he was able to accomplish. Senior Bowl week, Combine. He's the LTPer. He looks the part. 6'5", 220, ran 4.63. And as I said, has the arm strength you look for. So for Tyler Shuck, the team, the division, the elements fits with Tyler Shuck. Now, he'll be 26 in September, but hey, what's 35 to new 30? So at the end of the day, age won't matter. Tyler Shuck, I think, goes somewhere in the second round. Why not to Cleveland if they do pass on Shedeur Sanders, which it looks like they will do at pick number 2.
And Matt brought up the Kirk Cousins conversation here, Field. Listen, Kirk Cousins' future, we will know a little bit more in the summer what the Falcons plan on doing. But as of the draft here, if they go Shuck at 33 like you project, as well as Mel, is he a day one starter in Cleveland?
Well, he might be, but I still think that the Kirk Cousins situation is going to have some clarity prior to that, Kevin. I believe the draft is kind of the next tentpole date to keep an eye on with Kirk Cousins, because what Atlanta will be able to do at that point is they'll be able to see who got their preferred quarterback targets early and who did not. And if you didn't get your preferred quarterback target early, you might call Atlanta up and say, what's it going to take? It is not going to be inheriting the entirety of Kirk Cousins' contract. Atlanta's going to have to pay down a big portion of that. But you might give Atlanta a 5th-round pick in exchange for whatever portion of Kirk Cousins' salary you are willing to pay. And until Kirk Cousins comes out, or maybe it's on Netflix, I think he's on Quarterback Season 2 once again, and says, I am happy and content to be Michael Penix Jr.'s backup for the 2025 NFL season, I believe Kirk Cousins will play elsewhere this upcoming year, and I believe Cleveland is the overwhelming favorite as his next stop.
Yeah, definitely. Or, hey, maybe they should trade for Will Levis since he's got so much game left, right? But I do like Tyler Shuck here. I do. And I'm with you guys. I had it in my 7-round mock. I did the exact same pick. I think we're all in lockstep on the idea that they have Kenny Pickett there right now. They need a quarterback who could come in and play right away. I think Tyler Shuck has the best field vision of any quarterback in this year's draft. Some of that is because of the experience. He had 7 years in college. He could have earned a doctorate, and he pretty much did in football because his ability to see the field, the game has slowed down for him. I think because of that, he could step in right away, play for this Cleveland Browns team. He's going to give you that arm strength. He's going to give you some mobility. And again, that experience factor is so huge. We saw it last year with Bo Nix, how well he was able to step in and play right away. Tyler Shuck has some of that same ability, guys.
Yeah, can we have no more hate on Will Levis, please, guys? Okay, I'm going to throw a flag on you, Matt Miller, if you do it one more time. But in terms of this Cleveland Browns pick, it's going to be really interesting. Is it Tyler Shuck? Is it Jalen Milroe? What do they do at the quarterback spot? We have never seen quarterbacks go 1-2 in the second round. Cleveland Browns obviously have other need areas, and you got to love the quarterback. And Tyler Shuck did have that injury history at Texas Tech, and he will be 26 during the season. So Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, it's going to be interesting to see. And there's other quarterbacks in that mix as well. So that's about 5 or 6 quarterbacks bunched together. Will Howard coming out of Ohio State, formerly of Kansas State. You got Kyle McCord at Syracuse. Dylan Gabriel had a great year at Oregon. So there's other quarterbacks that are going to be in the discussion, maybe 3rd or 4th round, that maybe could be in the mix for Cleveland if they pass on a quarterback with that first pick in round 2.
All right, we got 2 picks in. The Giants are up next. They need...
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng, và hôm nay bọn mình sẽ có tiêu đề là tiêu đề của mình có là màu vàng.